Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 15 of the 2015 NFL season. So, first game I'm going to talk about is the St. Louis is at home against Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. Now, they haven't lost consecutive games since Week 3 and 4, and I think St. Louis only had one two-game winning streak this season, and I think I like running back Todd Gurley, but the team and there's some things in this team that they're doing well, but they have not looked well in recent weeks. I know they won last week against Detroit. They held Calvin Johnson to 16 total yards. I mean, they did everything but completely shut him down. I was very surprised by that their cornerback, that whoever was covering him, obviously did a tremendous job, but I just think overall the way Tampa Bay has been more in recent weeks and being more competitive, progression and evolution of Jameis Winston, which I've talked about a number of times. I'm going to stay with Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one to win on the road against St. Louis. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Jets. Jets. Is that? I think it was Fireman Ed or someone similar said that one time. Now they've won. As far as what they're doing, they're right now they're playing very well. They're number 5 in total defense. I believe they're in the top 10 in offense. They're very well balanced. Their touchdown red zone efficiency is very good right now. I mean, right now this team is clicking on all cylinders. They have, with Brandon Marshall as a receiver, one of the best receivers right now in the league, and he's found cohesion and chemistry with their quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Brandon Marshall has had trouble previously, I think, with Jay Cutler when he was with Chicago, but this compatibility thing is really helping them immensely, I think, right now. And when we look at this, and they're also number 1 in rush defense. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, I believe they've only won one game without Tony Romo this season. They're minus 15 turnover differential. It's funny because they're number 3 in time of possession in the NFL, but yet they just have not played well this season. They must be, I guess what's happening is that maybe they're sustaining some drives, but they're turning the ball over as well when they're doing this. And to me, it's just kind of an odd stat considering where they are, as far as their record and everything. So anyway, I'm going to take the Jets to win on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to bounce back and beat the Chicago Bears. It's interesting. Both these teams have very good kickoff return averages. Minnesota's number 2, Chicago's number 4. So this field position is going to be pivotal, I think, in this game. And running back Adrian Peterson, I expect him to run rampant against Chicago in this game. Minnesota's 4-2 at home. Chicago is 4-2 on the road, so something's going to give in this game, obviously. But I think it'll be Chicago that will ultimately. They've lost 3 of 4. They're floundering a little bit lately, and I think Minnesota, they're right now, as far as who's better, Minnesota is at home. They do have a better team, and Chicago just has not looked well at all. And I'm going to take Minnesota to win this one at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars at home to defeat the Atlanta Falcons. Now Jacksonville's been very competitive this season. They have really surprised me. 4-3 in the last 7. The fact that they're averaging about 25 points per game right now is, for me, is astonishing, because I can remember when I did these videos previously in previous years, it seemed like they were notoriously in like that bottom 5 in terms of their offense and scoring and offense and total offense. And for Jacksonville, Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson, they're becoming a really lethal combination. And at Atlanta, they've struggled to score. They've struggled to win. They've lost 6 consecutive games. They have 29 points combined in the last 3. Wide receiver Julio Jones obviously can't do it by himself. He's one of their main threats and one of the few on this team right now. I just see that Jacksonville is playing a lot better than Atlanta. They are home, and I'll take the Jaguars to win at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to win over the Houston Texans. Indianapolis is at home. Neither one of these teams have looked astounding in recent weeks. DeQuell Jackson for Indianapolis, #1 NFL tackles. He's really been come on strong for them. Quarterback Matt Hasselbeck is probable, so his status and is up in the air. And quarterback Brian Hoyer for Houston as well. Now, Houston's dropped the last 2 games. J.J. Watt's been stuck on the 13.5 sacks for, I believe, like around at least 2 or 3 weeks. And it seems to me right now that Indianapolis being at home, there's going to be a lot of desperation and urgency in this particular game. And I just feel everything equal with the quarterbacks. I'm seeing that they will bounce back. They were dismantled last week. They gave up 51 points to the Jaguars. Going back at home, I think it'll be a little different story against a Houston team that has not played well recently. I'll take the Colts to win at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take Carolina to win on the road. Now don't be flabbergasted or in a state of shock, people. As many of you may know, they've won 17 consecutive regular season games. They're #1 in scoring offense, almost 32 points per game. Cam Newton's fourth quarter efficiency is off the charts. This team is obviously they're clicking right now on all cylinders. They're not showing any signs of complacency or getting relaxed or anything like that. Giants got a big road win last week against the Miami Dolphins. This team, although their pass defense is abhorrent, it's number 32 in the league. Carolina, I expect them to really have a big day as far as their passing yards go. And the offense, of course, is the thing that's keeping the Giants in the games with Eli Manning and Odell Beckham. Now, can the Giants defense step up enough to at least contain the receivers? I just don't see it. Giants are at home. They might make it a little more competitive than a lot of people think, but I see Carolina winning by at least 10 points in this one. So I'm taking Carolina to win on the road at the Giants. Now, next game, I'm going to take the New England Patriots to win at home over the Tennessee Titans. This game really doesn't need an overabundance of analysis, but of course I'm going to give it anyway. New England they've defeated the Tennessee Titans 5 consecutive times. They completely have demolished them in the last 3, 133-36 combined score in the last 3 games. And to me, New England still is the #1 passing yards team in the game right now. I could see them eviscerating that Titans pass defense. Titans pass defense was certainly exploited last week. They're down to they're number 9 right now in pass defense. They gave up 263 yards, and they get a blueprint from that game from the Jets last week. Forget it. They really Delaney Walker is one of their bright spots. Marcus Mariota, he seems to put up the numbers for passing, but he's just not able to get him to get those scores for whatever reasons. And I like the New England Patriots to win this one at home. I think fairly big. I think they're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns in this one. Now, I'm going to take the Washington Redskins to win at home over the Buffalo Bills. Now, Redskins have played exceptional at home this season. Quarterback Kirk Cousins, of course, will be better at home than he has been on the road. Washington did win on the road last week. And you can win on the road against Chicago. I think they can win at home against Buffalo. Washington's won 2 of 3. They're going for a division title. They know that it's very attainable. Buffalo is starting to slip. They're everything but out of this postseason right now, and they have to go on the road. Now, this team only has 19 sacks right now, and they're in the bottom tier in terms of total sacks. They're going to really have to try to improve that in this particular game, I think, to win. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor can't do this all by himself, and Buffalo has lost their last 3 road games, and I see it being a 4th consecutive one. I like the Redskins to prevail at home. Now, the next game, I'm going to take Kansas City to win on the road over the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City right now, they are just playing like a team possessed. They are on a rampage right now, or on some mission. It seems like I could see them being very dangerous if they happen to get in the postseason. And right now they're number 4 in sacks. They have 18 interceptions. They're on a 7 consecutive game winning streak. They've outscored the opposition 204-84 in that period. And you have this team right now is a team that's really one to be reckoned with, and many of you do remember that when they did beat Denver at Denver, so this team is capable of beating upper echelon teams as well. And as well as lackluster ones, and I think this particular game they shouldn't have much trouble against the Baltimore Ravens. They allowed 5 touchdown passes last week. They only have 4 interceptions as a team. That is dead last in the NFL. And this team is just they don't really seem to be really being able to really play well on the offensive or defensive end right now. And I like Kansas City to win on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win at home over the Cleveland Browns. Now, Seattle's won 6 of 7. They've outscored their opponents 73-13 in the last 2 games. They're the number 1 rushing team in the NFL right now. Their defense is starting to play. The cornerbacks are playing much better in the last several weeks or so. And Cleveland is giving up 27.5 points per game. They're 1-5 on the road this season. I don't know if I did not really check to see if it was Johnny Manziel was going to be quarterback or not, but whoever's going to go in there, I don't think it makes any really that much difference. The team is really, you look at them, they're also 85.9 rushing yards per game. That's not going to get it done against Seattle. They're going to have to obviously rush for a lot more than that average if they have any chance of winning this game, and I don't think they do. I like Seattle to prevail at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to win on the road over the Oakland Raiders. Now, Green Bay is getting back right now. The team seems to be really in sync. The running game was offense awesome and stupendous last week. They only have 5 interceptions. They have a very good disciplined quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. Oakland now, they got their swagger back a little bit after defeating Denver. I don't know if I'm saying this name right, but so on Oakland, Kahal Mack is the new sacks leader, I understand, with 14. He had a tremendous game last week. And this team does have some things that are positive with them. Unfortunately, it's not really as far as the record, and it's just they may be showing some improvement in certain areas, but I just don't see them really going out and beating Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Pack is back right now. I think they're going right into playoff. They're starting to get into playoff stride, and they're synchronizing and playing well at the right time, and I like Green Bay to win on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win at home over the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh run it now with Big Ben, wide receiver Antonio Brown. I think when I look at this, I see Denver, okay, they lost last week. I know that was just one game. But Denver is not one team which we can really count on that's going to put up really a prodigious amount of points consistently. And I think being on the road and having to actually they losing at home to Oakland, now they got to go on the road and play Pittsburgh Steelers team that's playing very well. They did beat Cincinnati last week. I understand that Andy Dalton was injured in that game for most of the game. He was out. But still, it was a very solid win for Pittsburgh. They have a lot of confidence right now. And Denver scored 17 points or less in 4 of the last 5 games. So they are showing really some ineptitude as far as their offense production goes. So I do like Pittsburgh to win this one at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins to win on the road over the San Diego Chargers. Miami right now, quarterback Ryan Tannehill. He's not flashy or flamboyant. He puts up solid numbers. He's very efficient. I do like how he plays, even though the team is struggling a little bit. They have the safety, Rashad Jones, has 118 tackles, is number 4 in the NFL. They're actually at least being competitive in recent weeks. But you have San Diego that's floundering right now. They've lost 8 of 9 right now. Who would have thought that this team would be in such a bad situation in terms of their won-loss record? This was once a team that was like a perennial contender for the Super Bowl, and they've been held to 3 points in three of the last four games, if I'm not mistaken. It's at least two of the last three, I believe, if not three of the last four, and 34 points total. The last four games. That's not even 9 points per game average in that last four games. So I mean, the offense has been lamentable. It seems like Philip Rivers, he puts up some numbers, but for whatever reason they're not getting the scores, and which is really, it's mind-boggling to me. So I'm going to take Miami to win on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win on the road over the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Cincinnati, I understand Andy Dalton is not playing. However, they do have their weapons. They have AJ Green. They have some people on. They have a very good receiving core, and this is a team. AJ McCarron was solid last week. I think he did throw 2 interceptions, but he also threw for 280 yards. And this likely can improve against a San Francisco team that is just not playing well in any phase or aspect right now. San Francisco is averaging 14.5 points per game. That is dead last in the NFL in scoring offense. And they're really, to me, and they're also number 32 in total offense. They won't be able to generate enough points in this game to beat Cincinnati. And I'm going to take, Cincinnati has an impressive 5-1 record on the road. I like Cincinnati to win on the road. Next game, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to beat Philadelphia. Arizona is on the road. They're number 2 in points per game. They have that deadly lethal combination with wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, and also right now Carson Palmer. I mean, this team right now, a lot of people think they're actually the best team in the league. I still think it goes to Carolina because they've had comparable schedules, and they, if I'm not mistaken, both teams have only they only have 2 wins against teams that have a winning record right now. So to me, if you have Carolina has won a couple more, I give the nod to Carolina. But I do think Arizona is a very close second. Now, they've won. They're on a good winning streak right now. They're playing well at the right time. I understand. Speaking of swagger, Philadelphia is starting to get that. They've been playing better. Sam Bradford is starting. Looks like he's showing some progress this season. They're starting to play very cohesively and very well as a team right now. But Arizona is just right now, their personnel is just going to be too much overall for Philadelphia to handle. And I do like Arizona to win on the road. Now, next game, last but not least, I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints to win at home against Detroit. I know New Orleans has not played exceptional superlative lately. However, the Saints did win. They did win last week, and they are at home in this game. You look at this one for Detroit, wide receiver Calvin Johnson was held to 16 yards last week. I don't think that's going to happen again. But maybe if New Orleans, despite their dreadful, abysmal defense, if they could do something to try to replicate what happened last week, maybe they could contain Calvin Johnson. And the thing about this is, what I thought was interesting is that Detroit is number 1 in kickoff return average. So this could be pivotal in this game if Detroit can get the kickoff average going. In terms of if they could get solid field position consistently, they have a chance in this one. But I think New Orleans being this game on Monday night in front of the lights and being at home, and I think New Orleans will generate enough offense to win this game. Yes, they're going to give up a number of points as they do in most games, but I feel just confident that they will do what they have to do to win this game. Detroit is not exactly playing great either, and it is at New Orleans. So I'm going to take Drew Brees and the Saints to win this one at home. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for Week 15 of the 2015 NFL season. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 16 of the 2015 NFL season. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.